When we stretch and compress points, it's all dependent on the direction, whether it's horizontal or vertical, and the value, whether it's a fraction that's between 0 and 1 or a number that is larger than 1. So here on the first slide, I have a horizontal compression by 1/3 and a horizontal stretch by 2. Both of them are in the horizontal direction. So the way that you can tell which coordinate is going to be changing is the direction of the axis. So since it is a horizontal, it's going to affect the horizontal axis, and the one that runs left and right is your x. So we're going to be changing our x, and we'll be keeping the y coordinates. So for our first one of our horizontal compression by 1/3, all I will be doing is taking each x coordinate, and it's going to be multiplied by the fraction 1/3. So my first one, I'm going to take 7 and multiply it by 1/3, and that'll give me a fraction of 7/3. Then I'll take 3 and I'll multiply that by 1/3, and that'll give me 1. Then I'll take -3 times 1/3, and that'll give me a -1. And then I'll take 0 times 1/3, and that'll keep me at 0. 2 times 1/3 will leave me with 2/3. And we said we were keeping our y, so I'm just going to recopy all of those y's from the original column. Now when we do our horizontal stretch by 2, it's very similar. I'm going to just multiply each one of the x's by 2. I'll start with 0 times 2, and that'll be 0. 3 times 2 will give me 6. 10 times 2 will give me 20. -9 times 2 will give me a -18. And -5 times 2 will give me a -10. Like in the previous table, we said that we were keeping our y, so I will just recopy all of my y coordinates. Now in my next set of tables, each one says that it's either a vertical compression or a vertical stretch. So like we were doing with the horizontals, it's going to be changing in the vertical direction. So we want the vertical axis, which is your y. So this time we're going to end up keeping the x columns in both of our tables, and we'll change our y column. So in our first one, we have a fraction of 1/2. So like I did with the x's and the 1/3, I'm going to multiply each one of the y's by 1/2. So half of 8 would give me 4. 7 times 1/2 would give me 7/2. -6 times 1/2 would be -3. And -4 times 1/2 would be -2. And -2 times 1/2 would give me -1. And like we said, we were keeping our x's, so that new x column will just be what the previous x column was. Now in the second table, we have our vertical stretch by 4. Okay, so it's vertical again, so we're keeping those x's. So I can just copy those over first if we like. Now I'm going to take that 4, and it's just going to multiply to all of the y's. So each y will multiply by 4. So 10 times 4 would give us 40. 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 4 is 16. -3 times 4 is -12. And 6 times 4 is 24.